What's going on, guys? My name is Hamza. Thanks for clicking into this. I'm here with one of our most amazing agents, Kristen Comstock. Kristen, if you would really quickly just introduce yourself real quick and share a little bit about yourself.
Hey guys, Kristen Comstock here with the Comstock Home Group at Keller Williams South Shore, located just outside of Tampa. Myself and my team, we service a pretty big area. We probably service maybe a 2 to 3 hour, maybe even 4 hour radius around the greater Tampa Bay area. So we service some big cities like Orlando, Tampa, St. Pete, Sarasota, and inland to kind of like the middle of nowhere, Florida. And so that's a little bit about myself. I've got a team. I'm the lead listing agent, and I have four other agents on the team. We have a director of operations, we have a director of lead gen, we have a cyber backer, a transaction coordinator, and a listing manager.
Oof.
So, yep.
Crushing it. Got a big unit you're running there over there. Sweet,
Yes.
sweet.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Kristen. Well, I'll just, start off with a bang and ask the $1 million question. How has it been working with CataLead system so far? And if you could real quick share a little bit about your success w with working with us so far.
Yes. So I would say before I talk a little bit about CataLeads, probably what's important to know about just myself and my team is that it took me forever to monetarily invest in marketing. Most of my business for the first several years, probably first 5 or 6 years of my business, I did all organic. And my ultimate goal was I wanted to reach 1 million in gross commission. However, I can be a little tight when it comes to expenses. I don't have any business credit. Everything that we have done is all out of profits of the business. And so I wanted to remain that way. And so I kind of got to a ceiling in my business where I was seeing I would reach 500,000 or so mark. And that was really it. No matter what I did, we just really couldn't seem to break through that ceiling. And so at the end of 2022, I decided to move forward with a couple of marketing expenses. I have an MBA with Liberty University. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, I know this information. Any business that wants to operate and run well spends some sort of dollar amount on marketing. And so that's how I kind of looked at CataLeads. I was ready to make that jump. And although this isn't marketing per se, it kind of is in the sense that we're investing in somebody assisting us with lead generation, which is our prospecting, which can kind of be marketing. And so when I initially had our conversation together, my ultimate goal was like, hey, I am willing to spend X amount of dollars and I want to see immediate return, which of course we then had a pretty lengthy conversation of like, hey, listen, like this is how long it takes most agents to get up and running. So I say all that to say I signed on and I remember because I just had all this pressure on myself to book an appointment. I signed on and I think we like went live with our processes together March 6th, I want to say it was somewhere around there, and I set an appointment and signed a listing by the end of the month.
Wow.
So within 3 weeks, I went on an appointment and signed a listing agreement.
Boom. There we go. Awesome. And then I know we're kind of like in the depth of month three, but then and how did month two go for you?
So month two, I also signed one listing agreement. Now that took a little bit longer to get live. So we're actually active on market right now for
Wow.
that second unit. They just their time frame didn't line up with going live right away. So we just went live on market, and so we'll see what happens.
Awesome, awesome. Congratulations. Well,
Thank
I
you.
know, and before we start this video, you said, we're chatting about Friday plans, and you got a listing appointment today too, right? For from
Yes.
us. Okay, awesome,
Yes,
awesome.
I do. I do. And they're going to be probably more, he was very specific about wanting an off-market offer. So I'm licensed with Keller Offers. So I'm going to bring the information about that to bring him a cash offer.
Boom. There we go. Sweet.
Yep.
So, about 2.5 months going on forward. You got two listings agreements signed. Awesome. Congratulations. Obviously, you're working it well. And just from a kind of macro level, experiential wise, how has it been working with our team? Communicating with myself or our team. How's it been? How's that experience been for you?
I mean, it's probably the best that I've had when it comes to partnering with a company that's going to assist us in our lead generation and our prospecting. Anytime I've had questions, you've been available. So, I mean, I would give it like a 20 out of 10.
Thank you,
Five stars,
Kristen.
10 stars.
Thank you, Kristen. You're the best. I appreciate that. And you're an experienced and veteran agent like yourself and to any agent that's watching this and potentially considering and playing with the idea of investing with us and partnering up, what would you say goes into making this process successful and quote unquote working this process efficiently?
Yeah, I mean, I will say I'm really hard on myself and I hold myself to a really high standard. So for me, I mean, I want to see like probably 1 to 2 listing appointments uh executed, is listing agreements executed a month, and I've been at that one agreement mark every month. Still trucking along for May. But I think just making sure you're doing the same thing for every customer and actually doing the steps is extremely important because I know just from coaching real estate agents, I know that a lot of times we can pay for these opportunities and pay for someone to assist us with inbound, outbound leads or prospecting or Google ads or like whatever that you're spending your budget on, and then you get the leads and you're like so busy that you're not productive.
Hmm.
And so I think just maintaining a productive mindset rather than a busy mindset.
Love it. Love it. And can you speak on, like you and I in the conversations that we've had, you are able to lock down the listing appointment or just in-person appointment pretty effectively. So, from month one and month two, like we've averaged around kind of like anywhere between 15 to 18 appointments. And how many in-person appointments have you
Gone on.
Oops. Oh, we'll just redo that question. No worries. I'll edit that out.
I can
I
hear.
think the Zoom kind of hung up there, but okay. So, Kristen, like from the appointments that we pushed so far, we've averaged around 15 to 18 appointments every month for the past 2 months, and you've been very effective at landing those in-person appointments. So, could you speak on about, like first off, how many in-person appointments were you able to book from those 15 to 18 on a monthly basis? And also, second point is like, how were you able to book those in person and what helped you book those in person appointments?
Yes, so I guess I should have had my numbers in front of me, so I'll be
All
guessing on that
good.
a little
No
bit.
worries.
But I probably would say out of all the calls that are set, the initial calls that are set, I'm talking to about 75% or maybe even 85% of them. I'm actually able to make contact right away during that time that was
Wow.
set. Excuse me. And then from there, I am probably going on or setting a listing appointment with 50% of those. Now, I do have some of those that, want to reschedule or whatever the case is. And I think also it fluctuates some too. Like month one, I went on a ton of in person appointments. Some of those need a little bit more nurture or weren't quite ready yet that I've been staying in touch with. And then, of course, some of them were ready for an appointment right away. And so I would say a good majority of them I'm meeting in person.
Love it.
Some of them are just curious about the value of their home, or they're not able to get what they want, whether it's a cash offer or listing live. I just talked to somebody yesterday. Y'all set an appointment. I spoke with them on the phone. They've completely like gutted the property, so they put about $85,000 into it, and they can't get that in the home right now. And I was just very upfront with them. I'm like, listen, you'd have to list it $100,000 more than what the comps are right now. So, you know, unless you're willing to not make any money on it and they're counting that $85,000 that they put into the property, then it's not going to be a great time for you to sell right now. And he really appreciated that honest response and just
Mhm.
basically told me like, "Hey, please stay in touch. Let me know like if there's any sales that are higher." And so that's, they'll be on a longer term nurture, but it was a great conversation and somebody that I think I really built trust with because instead of just setting an appointment to go over there, I just said, "Hey, listen, since it sounds like you put a lot of money into the property, let me just look at the numbers just from what I can see before I see your house in person, and then I'll get back to you." And that's what I did. And I think I built a lot of trust in that conversation. So
Perfect, perfect, perfect way to handle it, and very well, well done on that. So really excited to see what you do with the appointments coming over this month. And what another question for you, Kristen, is in terms of from an operational standpoint, through the handoff process from our team to you, I was booking the calendar on your appointment and all the lead handoff, the information, the notes, and everything. How has that been for you in regards from ease of use, just so that other agents may get an idea of it, like in is it hard to kind of get plugged into your system, or you talk to us on that.
it is fabulous, except for when there's an Android user. So no, I mean, not hating on any Android users, but
See my
honestly,
phone.
you make our life really hard. But honestly, besides that, because I can text and do everything on my computer, so it's super seamless. And it's been a great process. I know I run a team, and so you and I have been working on like what does that look like once it's past me, like once it's out of my hands and I don't have the time to follow up with the longer term nurtures. And so that's something that we've been working on together. But as far as the initial contact, like we have a plan in place. And I think what has been great is you guys know your system. And a lot of times, when as an agent, you're using some sort of platform, again, I've interviewed a lot of people, but I haven't moved forward with a lot of lead generation or prospecting companies. But typically, it tends to rely on you of like, "Hey, we're going to send you all these leads and like good luck with them," basically.
Hmm.
And one of the things I really appreciate about you guys and just your system is you know your system because you built your system. And so you're the one that's able to tell us, like, "Hey, this is what we see as most successful. And if you follow these steps, then you can be successful too." And so, although that needs to be, customized for each individual, there's going to be some agents that they're on their own and they're doing all the things. And so they need steps for that. And then I know you guys work with people that have teams, and every team operates differently. And so, there's some basic steps and then customizing it. And I love that you guys have been involved in all of those steps because I really think that's why we're successful is because if you just left it up to me, I'd be like, "Well, I don't know. I'm just talking to these people." So yeah.
Thank you, Kristen. I appreciate you sharing that. And like last to kind of wrap up questions is, number one, actually last question is to any agent that's kind of thinking about that's on the fence right now, what would you say to them to kind of help educate them about this process, or what would you say to agents that are kind of on the fence about working with us right now?
I mean, I personally like to go back to the numbers. So if you're spending X amount of dollars and your return's going to be 10 times that, that's going to cover it for almost the full year. To me, that makes sense. And, we're looking to grow our team and our profit margin. And so that was one of the things that, although it was a scary step for me personally as a business owner, um, it made sense because we got our first agreement signed 3 weeks in. We listed it, I think like the next week we listed it. And it was the only sellers I've ever had that are like, "Yeah, like we really would like to actually list under the price you're telling us." And I had just sold two of the exact same floor plans in the same community for like $25,000 more than what they wanted to list for. And I was just like, "All right, well, I'm not going to lose the listing because the sellers want to list lower than what I literally just sold two exact same houses for." So we got it under contract over ask in like 2 or 3 days, and it closes today. So
Oh,
I'm getting text right now that are like, "Hey, are the buyers done with their walkthrough?" And so, from March appointment signed to May, I mean, that's to me, that's pretty fast turnaround as far as actually getting paid. So,
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Kristen. I appreciate you and appreciate you sharing that. And,
yeah,
just to kind of end off with, what I always like to say is that we are appreciative of you taking a shot with us and putting your trust in us. And what I always say is that it takes two to tango.
yes,
We might have the, best system in place. We might have the most effective system in place, but it also takes an agent like yourself on the other side to actually put boots on the ground and get to work with these leads and work them effectively. So for that, I thank you. And I appreciate you taking the time to jump on and kind of share your experience. And looking forward to building this relationship with you and sending you more closed deals.
yes, I'm excited. Let's do it.
Awesome. Thank you, Kristen.